In this video, I'm going to teach you an essential skill that every authorpreneur needs to know, and that's how to read an Amazon product page. It's important to be able to look at an Amazon book page and know what the key factors are, whether it's your books or another author in your genre. When you're done with this video, you'll be able to look at a book and see exactly how it's performing in 1 minute or less. Stay tuned. When you're looking at an Amazon page, it can be easy to get distracted. There are a lot of elements on the page, and Amazon is always experimenting, so the layouts of the pages change regularly. But you need to be able to cut through the noise and discern the most important elements, or, in business speak, the key performance indicators. For example, if you're looking at books in your genre, you would want to know how they're performing, right? If you wanted to figure out whether a genre was profitable, you would want to know that up front, too, right? On a more practical level, you also want to know how your own books are doing. Now that you know why this is an important skill, let's show you the proper way to read an Amazon page. Okay, here we are in Amazon, and we're going to take a look at a book that I'm sure that most of you watching this are familiar with, and that is Hugh Howey's Wool. We're looking at the Wool Omnibus Edition. And the reason I picked this one is because, well, Hugh Howey is crazy successful, and we can really pick apart this product page to see what the different elements are at work here. So first thing you want to look at is look at the cover, just take a look at it, but then you also want to look at the reviews. You want to look at how many reviews there are and what the average is. So 11,356 reviews, that's a crazy good number, and a 4.5 star average means that most people that read it were pretty satisfied. So we can also scroll down here and tell what formats the book is in. So we can tell it's in Kindle Unlimited, it's an ebook, which is free. If you're in Kindle Unlimited, $4.99 to buy. It's available in hardcover, paperback, Audible, and an MP3 CD, which is pretty rare. So you can also see the prices over here, but you can also tell that this book is in the Kindle WhisperSync program, because if you buy the ebook, you can add the narration for $1.99. So what this tells you is that the book is optimized. It's available in all the channels that it needs to be available in, and the author is not leaving any money on the table. So we also want to take a look at the book description. So we want to take a look at it here and see what the book is about, see how the author is positioning it, what types of keywords they're using, what the press, he has a section here, what the press is saying. All these things are pretty important, and you want to take a look at this first because it'll give you a good sense of, number one, how good the author's copy is, number two, some potential things that you can use in your own copy, and number three, if the book is properly classified and properly positioned in the genre. Go down a little bit further here. The next section I want to talk about is the customers who bought this item also bought. So in an ideal world, me as an author, I want to see more titles by me in here. So we can see how he has a couple of other titles that he's written here. We've got Sand, we've got Shift, we've got Dust, and if we scroll over here, we've also got Beacon 23, and you can sell it. Some of these in here are selling fairly well because they've got the bestseller flag by them. So that's what you want to see. You want to see titles by that author in the also bought, because it will show you that that author is doing fairly well with their other titles, and then also that readers are clicking through and buying other books by that author. Another important factor in this section is that you want to see books that are in the genre of the book that's on the page, because if you're not seeing books that are in the genre, that's either an indication that the book either isn't selling very well or it's not in the proper genre. Next thing that I want to talk about that is fairly new to the Amazon product pages within this last year or so, and that's this sponsored ads. So we have a sponsored book here, Meet Me in Atlantis. This author is a KDP Select author, obviously, and they're paying for advertisement on this page. So you can tell that that's where an ad pops up. Personally, I hate that location. I just think that's just the worst place for an ad. But what's new is this section here, which is sponsored products related to this item. What's interesting here is not so much what books are being advertised, because some of these books aren't in the genre that Howey writes in, but you may want to think about the type of books that you want your sponsored book to appear on. So I don't pay too much attention to this, but if you're a KDP Select author, you may want to look at this section. And then we've got our product details here, which could be important for you if you're looking at your own book. So with a file size, you may want to know what the file size of your book is. You may want to get that down. You can also take a look at the rankings here, which is another important section. So I'll show you an important tool here that you may or may not know about already, but that is the KDP Sales Rank Calculator. So for example, we can tell that Howie is number 141 in the paid Kindle store. So what does that actually mean? Well, if you're anywhere near number 1 on the Amazon store, that's pretty good. But there's a tool you can use called the Kindle Bestseller Calculator that will give you a rough approximation of how many books a book is selling at a particular sales rank. So if we pop over here and we enter 141 here, that equates maybe, right? Nothing's ever 100% accurate. Only Howie would know this, but 795 books per day. I'd say that's pretty good. Next up, we've got the different categories. So you can tell he's number 3 in science fiction post-apocalyptic, hard science fiction, and number 5 in science fiction, hard science fiction. These are also important. It's a little bit harder and more cryptic to tell exactly how many books you need to rank in these particular categories, but if you're seeing rankings here, that's always a good thing. We're going to talk about one final section here, and that is here at the very bottom of the Kindle page, and it's look for similar items by category. So they tuck this section at the bottom here, but it's an important section because it tells you how the author has classified their book, which will give you a sense of what their categories and keywords are. So as we can tell, this one is classified as adventure, hard science fiction, and post-apocalyptic. So having read some of Wool, I can say that that's pretty accurate. If you have an author that you like or a genre that you want to write in, scroll down to the bottom of this page. You can figure out what the categories and keywords are, and that'll give you a good idea of what to use when it's time to put the metadata in for your own book.
I hope this video was helpful. I want you to keep something in mind. It's impossible to draw conclusions about an author or his or her career by just looking at a product page. Like a financial statement, a product page is a snapshot in time whenever you look at it. Maybe that author was having a really good or really bad day when you saw the page. You have no idea how that author is doing on other retailers, in other formats, and in other countries. You're only looking at an Amazon page in one particular country, so don't make any assumptions. Use the information instead to make conservative estimates about how that book might be performing and how your book could fit into this particular genre. Remember, always avoid comparisonitis. When you measure yourself against other people, it'll just cause you mental anguish because there's always going to be someone who's doing better than you. So use this as a tool, but not the end-all be-all. If this is your first time watching, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week I do videos with craft, marketing, and business advice. I also cover publishing industry news that will help you grow your author business, sell more books, and connect with readers. I hope I can play a small part in your future success because it's time for you to get the author career that you deserve. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.